This is David Panic with a Sizzletown emergency news update. The COVID-19 coronavirus is said to be recovering slowly after prolonged exposure to Peter Dutton. It is not known how the virus contracted the Minister of Home Affairs, and Dutton himself, whose absence from Canberra has been nicknamed the Potato Famine, was unavailable for both comment and child-frightening duties. Supermarket chain Woolworths has declared its exclusive shopping hour for the elderly to be a roaring success. The policy gives pensioners and the disabled a chance to be first to survey the many empty shelves and unstocked aisles before more agile customers. Said one wheelchair-bound shopper, "I welcome the opportunity to go home empty-handed at a much earlier time than my able-bodied colleagues." In Melbourne, hundreds of foul-bottomed shoppers descended on the book grocer, depleting the shelves in a desperate search for alternatives to the now scarce toilet tissue. Heavily remaindered titles like Robsessed, Addicted to Robert Pattinson, and Simply the Guest, My Life with Liza, have been snapped up, with customers declaring Koshy's Joke Book Volume 3 to be both hilarious and absorbent. Overseas, a U.S. Trump Donald president has recommended homeschooling for all children, saying, "Obviously it's too late for me, but perhaps some of the young people still have a chance to learn something beyond hat-friendly catchphrases and coded references to ethnic cleansing." In New York, city bars and restaurants were empty because, as President says, the world's best steaks are available only at my exclusive golf resort and slop trough. Comedy-adjacent celebrity Russell Brand has now confined himself to what he calls his housey wouse and says he will continue to release round-the-clock video prattle until the crisis abates or the world runs out of man-bun elastic. Other celebrities affected by the virus include Idris Elba, whose most recent film Cats is somehow still in release, but remains unaffected by the U.S. ban on gatherings of more than 10 people. Back home, the Prime Morrison's Scott Minister welcomed Victoria's decision to lift a ban on conventional gas exploration, but refused to deny rumours that his government plans to mine disgraced businessman Clive Palmer for the lucrative gas reserves his imposing bulk is said to contain. "Yes, we are fully prepared to frack Palmer," said Minister, "but we may still need him to help us steal another election." The Prime Morrison has also promised Australians another cash handout, and when asked where the money will come from, said we'll probably just take it from that $2 billion bushfire recovery fund, which may or may not exist. When a journalist broke with Canberra Protocol by asking him a follow-up question, Minister quickly announced details of his new Smirk for the Dole scheme, which allows the disadvantaged the chance to emulate his smug, self-satisfied demeanour in lieu of food. International hot poultry conglomerate Kentucky Fried Chicken has announced it will be suspending its finger-lickin' good slogan after it was branded irresponsible by internet busybodies. KFC's new slogan, "For Christ's sake, it's just chicken, don't blame us for this fucking nightmare," will be rolled out overnight. Social media giant Twitter is doing its bit, announcing a crackdown on jokes which link the virus to both Corona brand beer and the Toyota Corona motor vehicle. Determined to slow the progress of what they're calling a pandemic, Twitter says they will also block any user who suggests deployment of Norton utilities to block the virus, along with those comparing the New South Wales Premier to Pee Wee Herman. Turning to sport now, and then turning back, in the UK, the Prime Johnson has urged citizens not to visit local pubs. When asked if he was doing this so that pub landlords would be unable to access the insurance money they would be entitled to under a government-mandated forced closure, the tousle-headed nincompoop stuck 2 pencils up his nose and mumbled the lyrics to a song about Pooh Bear he'd memorized for just such an occasion. And finally, in Germany, it has been revealed that participants in the new series of Big Brother are completely unaware of the coronavirus, and of the fact that nobody in 2020 gives a flying fuck about Big Brother. This is David Panic reporting for Sizzletown.